Hey, what is up everyone? Hope you're all having a wonderful time. Here we have a quick showcase of the Bleeding Bees Beastmaster in Last Epoch. The Bleeding Bee Beastmaster is an experimental build that I've been trying to get going for a while now. We use a bunch of uniques for this build, which is great for all the legendary potential that we can have on all of the gear. The main goal is to build around the unique relic Bloodkeeper's nest that provide different kinds of buffs to our bees, and also we gain more bees while we are in Spriggan Form. We're also using 2 ornated idols to get our maximum bees to as many as we can have. We're also using squirrels from the Herald of the Scurry unique helm to boost the damage even further. And these are still carrying the build overall, but the bees alone is not that bad as you might think. All the footage is from Epoch content, and for example, with both the squirrels and the bees, we do get around 1k bleed stacks on the bosses, and the bosses goes down in a pretty decent speed. While playing without squirrels though, we are lying around 300 stacks of bleeds from our bees alone, and it's not too bad at all. Around 1/3 of the total damage. And another thing is about the bees is that they are actually spawning from you every second, so you will always have some bees around you while you are running around, if you do compare it to the squirrels that will run from one pack to another. For defense, we do have quite a bit of low health, but I'm actually feeling quite tanky overall. We get some really high armor bonuses from using the Thorns shield, and at the same time we also get the heals from Eterra's blessing every time we use the Thorns shield. And if you are at full health, we will also spawn a healing totem on top of that. And this feels very nice having all that health regen up all the time pretty much. By combining a couple of unique items, we also make it so the rage regen while we are transformed will always stay on top, making it so we can be in Spriggan Form all of the time. Keep in mind that this is a showcase video of what I've come up with so far for this build. I would love to hear if you have any ideas to improve the build even further, or maybe if you have tried out yourself or just got an idea on top of your head. Feel free to tell me in the comments below. For some pros for this build, it's got great single target with decent clear speed. It's great for taking a lot of smaller hits. You can also get some really high armor. It's also a pretty fast build as well. And you don't have to focus on resist that much, and what I mean by that is that you gain tons of bonuses from uniques and also from your skills for a easy cap. For the cons, you need tons of uniques for this build to work, and we also need idols for the bees, and these were quite rare to get in my opinion. For the uniques, we're using Bloodkeeper's nest, which makes it so we can get some extra bees while we are in Spriggan Form. Your bees will gain a flat health and also percentage damage per point of attunement, and it will also gain a percentage of physical penetration per point of your strength. And the strength version is the one that I went for because we are focusing on the bleed. And this is per strength, so we can get these stacks up quite high. Once we cast a Thorn shield, the nearest bee will also be affected by the Thorn shield. Herald of Scurry transform your wolves into squirrels and will also double the companion limit for the squirrels. We also get some great boosts for our health from this as well. The helm is quite rare to drop, and if you do miss it out, you can simply use another helm with a minion bleed duration and also minion bleed chance on hit. Doublet of Honest Toll gives our minions a chance to bleed on hit and also increase bleed duration for our minions by a huge amount. We also get some health here on top to our character as well. Ribbon of Blood is not really required, but I did have one with some decent LP on it, so I decided to include it for the build as well. We do get a percentage life for our character, and added melee physical damage for minions do help out with the clear, even though it's not helping out with the bleed damage itself. And also our minions get crit immunity here as well. Legacy of the Quiet Forest is a belt that gives us rage per every 3 seconds while we are in Spriggan Form. And on top of that, we also get some other bonuses for our character's defense as well. Tears of the Forest gives us rage per second per summon vine, and along with that, some other great bonuses for our characters like increased movement speed and also armor while we are transformed. Eterra's Path gives us every second if we are moving, we'll have a chance to cast summon vines. And this helps keeping our max amount up so we get as much rage per second from the amulet. Our minions gain some increased move speed and also our character will get some extra health. Silver Fun is a unique ring that basically makes it so when we directly cast Summon Bind, we are teleported to the target location. So we use the Summon Bind skill as a mobility skill instead. For the stats, try to go for health, resist for your cap, also strength, minion damage, cast speed, and for the class specific stats, try to go for chance to bleed on minion hit, and also minions have increased bleed duration. For the idols, you want to get 2 ornated idols with plus Bs per 10 seconds and also the chance to bleed on a minion hit. You also want to go for 2 grand idols with the chance to gain haste for 3 seconds when you summon a totem and also with increased minion attack speed. Some of the more notable blessings is going to be from Ending of the Storm, and here you can get some flat mana, and this is going to be transferred to your rage and can be helpful especially early on if you don't have both the belt and the amulet for the rage regen. Reigns of Dragon gives our character up to 70% critical strike avoidance. At Spirit of Fire you can get increased minion damage, or if you want to go for more defense you can also go for the percentage endurance here as well. And let's go over the most important notes for the skills, starting with Spriggan Form. So Spriggan Form transforms us into a Forest Spriggan, and we'll also gain 4 new abilities by doing so. And the most useful one is going to be the Thorns shield, which will boost our defense and armor by a huge amount. And as you can see here, you can gain some really crazy amounts of armor from the shields, and while the belt and amulet keeps your regen up, you can pretty much spam the skill without having to worry about the rage cost. Iron Bark for more armor and also increased armor. Deep Roots for a longer Thorn shield duration. Eterra's Bulwark for additional armor with the shield and also increased armor here as well. Full Growth makes so Thorn shield will have a chance to be recasted. Introspection will make it so we can only cast it on ourselves, make it so we don't accidentally use the skill on one of our minions. However, this with the relic that will apply a shield on our beast still works though. Glacial Grow will make it so we have a chance to cast Maelstrom on the Thorn shield. Summon Wolf is another skill that we are using, and combined with the unique helm we make it so the wolves will then transform into squirrels instead. 4-point in Seared Claw for the melee bleed chance. Patient Hunters for the physical penetration with bleeds. Safety in numbers makes so we can have our squirrels up to our max opinion limit. Pack Hunter for maximum wolves, or in this case, squirrels. We're using Eterra's Blessing, and this is working as a heal. And Rose Bloom makes it so whenever you directly cast Thorn Shield, you will also cast Eterra's Blessing, so this makes it so we will heal ourselves all the time at the same time we are using Thorn Shield. Ancestral Renewal makes it so when we heal a target that's already on high health, we have a chance to spawn a healing totem here instead. And this synergizes very well if you have the idols with the chance to get the Frenzy once we summon a totem. Purge will cleanse all the target's elements. Efference will make it so Eternal's Blessing heal half of its value immediately and then half of its value over 4 seconds. And Regrowth will make it so we heal once again while Efference has expired. Lastly, Safeguard for some extra elemental resist and also poison resist. We're also using Maelstrom for some extra defensive layers, but this is only going to be from the procs. Sleet Footed for the extra dodge rating here. Wind Steps makes so we get the haste buff at 6 or more stacks of Maelstrom. And Wind Fury, the same as before, but we gain the Frenzy here instead. Arctic Blast makes it so Maelstrom has an increased chance to freeze enemies, so just an extra defensive layer. We're also using Ice Thorns for this build, and this is also mainly from the proc, and this will provide some defensive layers here as well. Bramble Armor makes it so we have a chance to cast Ice Thorn when we get hit. Spell Thorns do the same with additional 20%. Thorn Barrier gives us a Thorn Barrier that provides some flat armor once the skill is triggered. Bark Shield for additional armor. Eternal's Protection for increased Thorn Barrier duration. And here a quick preview of the passive skill tree, but for more information about the build I do recommend you go and check out the last Epoch build planner. And here you can also find a very basic loot filter on the build planner that highlights all you need to get for both leveling and for the endgame. Link for this will be in the description. So what do you think about the Bleeding Beast Beastmaster build? Do you think it has any potential of being a viable endgame build, or is it just a meme carried by the squirrels? Feel free to tell me in the comments below. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. And with that said, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!